My name is Andrew Cheboi. I am the CEO and founder of Norads. Norads stands for North Rift Research and Development Solutions, which is a community-based organization registered and operating here in Elgeyo Marakwet and other parts of North Rift region, including Uasin Gishu, Trans Nzoia, West Pokot, and Turkana. We also have plans to move into Baringo, Nandi, and then the rest of the North Rift region. NORAD, as per the name, is mainly involved in pursuing and doing interventions that are evidence-based. We generate evidence and analytics. We also use those analytics to design our programs and implement them, show value for the analytics and the findings in form of development projects. And currently we are implementing projects in the food security here in Elgeyo Marakwet, working with farmers and our cooperatives to link them to markets. We also link them to quality inputs and generally embed our services in extension. We also are using agribusiness to create jobs, especially among young people and also marginalized groups like women and persons with disabilities. It is out of that function that we are able to partner with ACWIT with support from UK government to implement the Inclusive Digital Futures program. So those are the backgrounds about our organization, our role. We are headquartered. Our offices are in Eldoret, in Uasin Gishu, but of course, our activities with IDF who are within Elgeyo Marakwet County. We also have presence and offices in Kapsawar, in a place called Sisia. We also have offices in Aror, and when we partner with other farmer organizations in the Marakwet South, Keyo South, Keyo North, and also Keyo in Marakwet East. Thank you. Yes, my responsibility in delivering IDF, my personal responsibility, of course, as the CEO of NORADS, is to ensure that we deliver a part of our contract that we signed, and then that contract involved ensuring that at least 450 young people are able to go through the digital training, transition them to agripreneurs, and ensure that they're able to either start their own businesses or are able to be employed and take advantage of the skills and opportunities within the tracks that they were prepared to ensure that then they are able to get meaningful jobs for themselves and also other young people. Yeah.
Okay, and how faithfully were the planned activities implemented on ground? So if it was mobilization, if it was the training, graduation, and did they, if any, differ from the original plan and maybe on the proposal of the original delivery approach that was expected or interpreted?
We were able to deliver the planned activities as per what we signed and also in line with what we're also doing on the ground. Remember, IDF is a continuation of the initial program, DKC, and during the DKC program, we were able to create awareness, train young people on basic literacy skills. So IDF was enriching these skills, and so for us in Elgeyo Marakwet, we were building on what we had already done, and so we were able to quickly mobilize. We went around to meet the leadership at the county level, the sub-county levels, and also mobilizing our young people within the digital space using the existing WhatsApp groups that we had created for each sub-county and for each track, and the young people were able to mobilize themselves into then these specific groups, and they were able to fill the the forms, because remember this is a self-mobilization program, and so young people were able to respond to the calls. We were using also radios, and then and we are sending out sound bites through existing WhatsApp groups, and then ensuring also we are answering their questions. Remember, within this digital space, despite the fact that we had created enough attraction and enough trust among the young people, there are also those other young people who are still asking whether this is still a junior program, so we're able to answer their questions. And then our trainers were also handy to prepare the training, and they were able to take them through the training, answer their questions, help them also join those training programs. And then on our part also, we are going around to answer questions, do physical meetings, and generally we were able to move from the 450, we were able to mobilize 488 young people. Some of them went through the various modules, including AI literacy training. But then there were also those who did not complete their training for one reason or another, because one, Elgeyo Marakwet, we have issues around internet connectivity. There were also young people who are in colleges, and some of these trainings coincided with some very crucial programs like exams, or those who are in micro teaching, especially those who are teachers. And so those ones, they explained to us and we understood. There were a few who, some of the training involved when they had lost their loved ones, and so they could not complete. And so by the time we were finalizing this program, we were able to graduate over 450 young people. And so we would say we met our target in terms of what we signed for. But then there are also young people who wanted to be part of the program, but for some reasons which are understandable, they could not finalize the program. One, we used multi-pronged approaches. One, the digital platforms, because remember, primarily this is a digital program. And so we use all the available digital spaces to ensure that the information is reaching our young people. Two, because of our presence in Elgeyo Marakwet, we're also using our networks. We're using our networks, using our farmer cooperatives, postings, also in church events, we're able to send out messages. And our committees also, who are part of the leadership of the county, including the CEC, ICT, the chief officers, the rest of the committees within the county who are from agriculture, the ICT officer who was also part of this training program, together with the sub-county ICT officers, the sub-county and the ward administrators were all involved, the chiefs. I would say every part of the county, every person who needed to know knew, and so they were creating awareness. And sincerely, we did our best. We also went around ourselves, the entire sub-county. We did meetings in Cheboi, we did meetings at Iten, we went to Kapsawar, we went to Chesoi, went to Chesongoch, Aror, Piretwo. All these places we were able, and we were taking advantage of ongoing activities, whether it is Uduma Mashinani, we were riding on those events. And I would say in terms of knowledge and awareness, our approach was effective. Yes, especially the people with disabilities. We reach out to, we have champions. We have also an office here in at Iten, and we went to the office. We created awareness, and we were able to enroll 6 persons with disabilities. Even in one of our meetings in Kapsawar, one of our facilitator, one of our MC, is a guy called Amos, who is blind, and the guy is already linking other young people to employment opportunities, not only here in Kenya, but also abroad. So it's amazing that we're able to reach such people, not only with the digital skills, but we are also able to empower them and be able to reach out and help other young people, even those who are not disabled. And then through Amos, they were able to be linked to job opportunities. One, since this was a follow-on program, we had already established open communication with Akwit, the team in Nairobi. There was a dedicated officer who was reaching out to us, Maslin. But Maslin, again, of course, did not prevent us from reaching out, even the trainers, even the CEO, Constantine. If we had anything to console around finances, we were able to reach out to David. And so I would say we had open communication. I could call Constantine anytime. They could also call us, and then we were able to reach out. My team, the technical teams, were doing also bilateral communication among themselves. Remember Sharon and Winnie and even Collins, they were able to reach out to the lead trainers, whether it's Chris, whether it's Pauline, whether it is the rest of the team members who are doing the training. We didn't have any barrier. I would say our communication with Akwit was superb. With the county government, if I said our communication with Akwit was superb, then even with the county was super, because anytime I would reach out to not only the CEC, but I also have open communication with the governor. I have open communication right from the ward, what that means, all the way to the leadership of the county. That one we were able to reach out. We were updating them almost every week initially, because remember there were many questions from the young people. And then Kimutai Daniel, who is the chief officer. Remember also this program initially came through the county, and they had their own experiences. And so they were really happy that Norads came in to engage the youth, to manage their questions, but also do a close follow-on. And so it was our duty to also update them, brief them on their progress. And I remember one time Governor was asking me, Andrew, how is this thing going? I told him, this thing is doing well. We now have, for this program, initially, we had 1,061 young people. And so when I told him that we had already registered 1,061 young people, he was surprised, because initially I think they had around 250 before we came into the picture. So he was really following, and we had the answers to some of their questions, and they were really, very happy. And him also, as the chair of ICT within the Council of Governors, he was following up closely, and we were updating them, and he was satisfied. AI is still something new. And so, but within that being new, there is some curiosity to learn. So our young people were really eager to learn. But the challenge they experienced, despite our support even on the bundles, I think it required some very strong network wherever they were. And then the network coverage here in Elgeyo Marakwet is slightly poor. So with the interest, and then that small challenge of network, I think maybe that's something that we need to revisit among the young people. But secondly, also because within our county, apart from our idea program, which was also promoting the AI skilling, we also had almost a similar program that almost created confusion. So in fact, we had to really make some calls, visited the sub-counties to make clarity on which program we are supporting and which this other program that Kilimo Akika was promoting. At the end of the day, they were able to appreciate that these were not really competing programs, but they were complementing one another. Yes, AI is delivering quick solutions and answers to some of these, not only ICT, but also other life challenges within the society. But AI skills also require human interface and interpretation, and ensuring that what AI produces should be subjected to validation, human validation. And so continuity, capacity building in this area so that entirely people don't depend on AI, but it is something that initially it can be used to solve some digital aspects, also human related issues, seek quick answers, but these answers should be subjected to ground validation. So it's something that we need to continue building capacity, but also monitor what is unfolding within the AI space, not only in Kenya, or not only even in Elgeyo Marakwet or in Kenya, but also globally. The first thing, I want to really thank the UK government and Akwit for thinking about Elgeyo Marakwet as one of the counties for this program. Two, within the agripreneur model of the county, most of the young people will be absorbed either, of course, as a direct employment, but also receiving support to start and manage their businesses. So county government will obviously be a direct path to sustainability. But also within our work as Norads, we continue to work with these young people. We are here. We are not going anywhere. We are in this community, and so we continue to work. In fact, with the business ideas that we've collected from our young people, we are now in the process of supporting them do business planning, which is over and above what IDF is doing. And so we continue to coach this at the CBO level. Of course, we may not be able to reach out to all of them, but the few whom we can reach within our ongoing programs, we will support them. Third, usually these kind of programs require some long-term relationship. Creating an employment among young people is not a 3 month, it's not a 5 month, it's not a 6-month activity. The first 6 months is to create awareness, to put in some catalytic activities. But then when it comes to coaching and mentorship, including even financing, remember we've reached out to all the financial institutions within this county. We've talked with the Cooperative Bank of Kenya, we talked with Equity, KCB, and even Boresha, SACCO. All these institutions, they have some kind of financing. But then they also need some collateral or something that they need to put in place for them to access this financing. And this is something that we need to work with as Norads, as county government, and also for us with other development partners, including Akwit, so that the foundations that we build and the readiness of our young people, we shouldn't lose these efforts. Yes, so already we've laid the foundation, the institutions within the county that will sustain these efforts, but then these young people will still need support in terms of coaching and mentorship, and also financial access to test their business models, and ensure that if they can get some kind of patient capital, or even some of them have some little equity, but then it's not enough to translate their business ideas into some opportunities that can sustain them in this employment and also create employment for their young fellows. As part of our work in this program, we did some assessment, digital assessment across the county. And the county has also invested in ICT centers. Some of these ICT centers are working, 4 of them are working, but there are other 16 that with buildings, but the infrastructure, the software, the ICT infrastructure has not been put in place. So during this phase, what we did was to create awareness among the communities to be able to allocate funds during public participation to these centers, so that at every ward there is an ICT hub to sustain these efforts that we've done. So we'll be following up beginning next year. We'll be working with especially the MCAs, because so that they are able to influence the communities. We're also working with our cooperatives across the counties, so that then with the leadership of those farmer cooperatives, they are able to influence resource allocation to the ICT centers. And those ICT centers, if they are functioning, then the young people can be able to access these digital opportunities across the county. Yeah, first of all, this kind of work that Akwit and UK government together with Norads have done is more of proof of concept. I think we now know that this idea works. So what we need to do, we need to take it to scale. Because right now, we have, if we can use the whole sphere of the young people whom we've put into the program, we could say 1,060. But is that a critical mass? No, of course. During the graduation, His Excellency the Governor was clear, and he talked about the 20,000. Even now, in terms of our strategy and our pathway, we're looking at if we can have 20,000 young people go through these such programs, they are able to create a critical mass that can take it over to the rest of the young people. I remember during the case, we were able to reach out to over 27,000 community members on the digital skills. That's already a part of our preparedness. So if we can take in 20,000 out of 1,000, that's times 20. And then from 27, we are able to reach 100,000 community members with digital literacy. That should be able to take digital skilling as part of our industry practice within Elgeyo Marakwet, and that will be felt in the nation. Thank you. I really want to thank the UK government for allocating resources for this program. We really want to thank the Commission, High Commission here in Kenya. I want to thank Akwit for their continued support, designing this program, the support that they gave to Norads throughout the training, throughout the coming up with the awareness materials, coming also supporting us throughout the training and ensuring that the young people were able to graduate with evidence. They now have the certificates that the training was done with enough evidence. My thanks to our county, and this is our governor, who is the chair of ICT within the Council of Governors. He's been following up this program closely and supporting us and ensuring that the entire staff within the county are also supporting this program. I want to thank all our partners within the county, those who came to exhibit and show the opportunities for young people, with not only in agriculture, but within the financial sector, within the gig economy. There are people who came to show our people what it means to do be creative, doing things like pedicure and manicure. We don't take for granted those opportunities. Our institutions here at the county, we talk about Cheboi National Polytechnic, they were able to allow our young people to see the technologies that they have and how they can use those technologies to create job opportunities. I want to thank all our partners here in Elgeyo Marakwet, thank again Akwit, and all the people who ensure that our program was a success. My team, they were able to go to the remote parts of this county. They were able to reach out, supporting our young people, answering their questions, and questions from young people. Some of the questions are not very pleasant. Our young generations, they ask questions which sometimes you are not emotionally stable and you're able to understand them. So my team, they were able to answer all those questions. And when we met these young people, when we were going our routine monitoring, we were able to meet them, laugh with them, hug each other. And I was really very happy when I saw my team really gelling very well with the young people within this county. thank you very much, and I hope that this program will continue to yield more opportunities that transform job opportunities for our young people.